Get this link pulled up. Get this link pulled up and everything. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna send this link to him. All right, what is it? It's HAM. Yes, sir. Okay. I'm just waiting for Pops to pop up in. Yep. Yeah, man, I'm going live. All right, so I'm getting ready to start while I'm waiting on the one and only my father, man. Great guy, man. Great guy he is, man. Such a great guy. And to everybody out there, man, I'm just now tuning in to the bull, man. Look, man, there's a lot of going on. Um, I know I talked about scammers last week, and I just kind of popped on right now because there was a major shooting up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Like it was crazy. There's a shooting going on up there. I'm not really familiar with all the details on that. It looks like something happened up in Garfield. That's a neighborhood on the east side of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, not too far away from where I had grew up at. The old man was getting evicted. All we got from the news was the old man was getting evicted. He didn't want that, and he wound up getting in the shootout with the police. And that's pretty much all I got with that right there. But I'm getting ready to have my father join me on a panel, and we're getting ready to talk some real stuff, some real information that I think that people need to know about, and on a lot of topics and so forth and so on, because there's a lot of things that's going on out there that y'all just we just tend to overlook. And look, y'all, this is the whole reason why I wanted to start a platform, was to inform y'all of the things that's going on out there. Meanwhile, a lot of people's going to be watching a football game and they may not catch this. Hopefully y'all catch it later on, um so that y'all know that what's going on out here, so that y'all are informed. You're going to get two people with two different opinions going in on this topic, and it's going to be real. It's going to be fun to do so, man. It's going to be live. Yeah, it's definitely going to be live. So I've asked anybody that's right now, and if you out there, man, come on in, jump on in the conversation, man. Because look, it's about to get real. It's about to get real right now. We are about to go in. We ain't playing no games. We ain't taking no prisoners. I mean, look, man, I don't put that on all of y'all, on everybody, man. There's a lot of things that's going on. I don't put that on everybody. I don't. I really don't. It's not nobody's fault why things are going on. Yeah. And I'll be going live later on TikTok too. So just right now I just had to post up on a couple platforms that I'm going live, inform people. So I can inform everybody what's going on my all my live channels and everything. So yeah, because it's about yo, shit is about to go down, man. I mean, there's so much shit that's going on right now, y'all, and we tend to overlook it. And I can't even blame it on y'all. But look, just real quick though, before I even go ahead and I go in on everything, I wanna share a few things that's been bothering me. That's not really been bothering me, but I'll pull that up later in a minute here. I'll pull that up in a minute out of my email, but I want to pull this up. For my fellow truck drivers out there, right? We everybody is being a victim of scam culture. No matter how big your platform is, no matter how small your platform is, once you got a certain following of a platform and you have a certain audience, people tend to come and want to, all we see is advertisement dollars. You know what I mean? Like I'm just being honest. And Bonehead Truckers, they he run a funny channel about the dumb stuff truck drivers do on a daily basis, how we get ourselves stuck in certain situations. Um, a little bit of accidents in there, but just really just putting yourself into a tough situation. You know what I mean? And with that being said, there is there is a company that he is sponsored by right now, that he promotes, DAT. Well, DAT was recently on the Mother Trucker channel about scamming. They had been scamming a different company. A company had been using DAT, this broker company, and they have been double brokering, which is scamming a lot of drivers. This double brokering thing is ridiculous. I spoke on that a little bit yesterday also, but I said that because the Bonehead Truckers channel had just used DAT. They use DAT for advertising. They advertise DAT. And don't go nowhere. Stay here, stay with me. I'm just talking before I get him up in here. I'm about to have a father come in as a guest. Thank you for joining right now. And we're gonna talk some real stuff that's going on. It's like under the radar. And we really don't pay attention to these things, and I think that we need to start paying attention to more things. This is another reason why I wanted to start a platform, you know what I'm saying, to inform my everyday people of just the things that go on out there, you know what I mean? Now it's up to you if you want to stick around. You could catch the video later, you know what I mean? I ain't faulting you for that. I know everybody got things that's going on. Catch the video later if that's what you need to do. But if you want to stick around and you want to hear the real of what's going on, and the opinions, then I advise you to stick around because it's about to get real in here. But what I was just talking about is this whole scamming culture thing. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because I know I touched on it yesterday with a video or whatever, right? But I was saying that there's a channel called Bonehead Truckers. He's just funny, funny guy, whatever. You know what I mean? And he used DAT for advertising, and they're scamming people. They're double brokering. You know what I'm saying? But look, hey, I'm a rock out, man. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of people popping in and out of here, man. I'm gonna just, you know what I'm saying? Because this is ridiculous right now for this to be up in here. You know what I'm saying? We got to get this popping. So I gotta blow horns and everything else and up in here because I can't let this get out of hand. Yeah. jumping up in the live? I see chats up in here. I see people in the chat. You said you can't hear me? Oh shit, Luca said he can't hear me. Okay, for sure though, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. Look, just jamming out right now, man, until we get this live going. You know, everything is said, everything is going in right now, you know. Chuck and Chubby. Y'all know y'all love the boy, y'all love the diss. Y'all know y'all can't really handle this. What's going on, sis? See you up in here. Yeah. About to get up in this. Well, I'm waiting on my father. Shout out to y'all. I'm waiting on him to jump up in here. I've been waiting on him for a little bit. See a lot of people up in here, my YouTube people. What up? You know, I mean, y'all, I don't know why they can't never be in the chat, but whatever. Look, some shit going on with the with this pandemic shit. You know what I mean? A lot of people, a lot of us, we get caught up in our daily lives and we really don't pay attention to that shit. It's just, you know what I mean? It's like because whatever don't really affect us in our daily life, we like fuck that. I ain't worried about that shit. You know what I mean? Like, and I can't blame nobody for that because if it don't affect you in your daily life, then it's just like whatever. What the fuck? You know what I mean? So straight up. But anyhow, these motherfuckers are come this pandemic thing is just crazy right now. Oh, he's up in here. He's up in here. I'm about to pull him up in here right now. He up in here. Let's get it. Can you hear me?
Hey, yo, I can hear you well. Can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely. What's going on?
What's going on? Oh, nothing much, son. Just chilling, man.
Yeah. So we was just talking about before I jumped off the phone. Like, no, let's come up in this live and let's rap in live because I feel like we about to have a real good conversation. And you could go ahead and jump in like the this whole second pandemic thing, this second
Right,
lockdown.
right. So I think, with a lot of people, you have those that prepare for things like that and understand what is happening around them. But then you have others that are not going to be prepared, or there's a high shock value of hearing a report like that.
Right.
And then they just instantly go into a state of panic.
Mhm.
And
Do you
then go ahead.
do you think that that's something that the government like uses, like they try to push a, a agenda to get people to scare people into voting, to repress the vote or anything like that? Funny, you know what I mean?
There's a deep rabbit hole there. And
Okay.
to answer what you're saying right there directly, yes. But the rabbit hole, it goes so much deeper than that. But being a part of it real time is the panic I think that people fear come into. Why? Because they're already questioning. Some are, some aren't. You have some now that look at the jab, what
Hmm.
what I like to call it, right? And took it. Now you're looking at taking another one. And it'll be something like that more and more each year. Why? Because of another variant. Another variant's gonna come that's more deadlier than the last one. So now you gotta put some more foreign substance into your bloodstream to protect you from the new variant that is coming out when the last injection that you put into your bloodstream is still in your body.
Right. And I'm guilty of that. I ain't gonna get up on here and lie and say I didn't take it, but I did. And something that I regret. I'm not having like any super complications, but I have seen a lot of people who have been recently going to go get this the jab recently. They're having health complications. You got people that's in their 20s, early 30s having cardiac arrest. I mean, there was even somebody I believe that you had grew up with in Pittsburgh who like recently. I don't know if it's conspiracy or something like you know what I mean. I don't know for a fact, but they just had gotten the vaccine and they had a cardiac arrest.
Right. Um, I always look at situations like that. And maybe the way that I've, been conditioned to rearrange how I reason, but I always look at things like that. I don't want to sound like I'm, speaking in particular when I'm speaking to you and any of the others, that it's conspiracy first, but I do look at things like that, real case in point, a aunt of ours, Aunt Brenda, recently passed not too long ago, and they put cause of death on her birth certificate. I mean, excuse me, I said on birth certificate, excuse me, on her death certificate to be, CV19. So, and she was already a diabetic,
Mhm.
and but I do believe that once she exposed herself, or when she took on whatever they were giving her intravenously to protect her from that escalated things. That's just my belief, my observation of it. You know, I think when we're hearing these reports, when we see these reports, that we have to be in a space of preparation, as much look at the things that we can control, and
Mhm.
don't think about the stuff that you can't. What you can control is what you put into your body. What you can control is the supplies that you bring into your household, things of that nature. And just inform people, share information with people so that they can make an informed decision.
Right. Right. Yeah, and that's real, you know. So in layman's terms, I guess stockpile. Don't wait till the last second, y'all. Start getting out there and getting everything together that y'all can. Because I mean, I don't know if this is another way to try to bounce back the economy, if they're trying to push people into fear. Um, but it seems that way. You know what I'm saying? When I'm looking at things, it seems like that's what they're trying to push again because the economy. I guess we was in one of the biggest real estate bubbles then,
Hmm.
which is crazy during the pandemic, and the economy went up because everybody was getting money and sitting at home, really not going nowhere and spending it. And it's just crazy when you look at it because it seems to be, and they seem to push it on quote unquote far right agenda, like you know what I mean. Not in that's I think that's how they play people into not really paying attention to what's really going on and happening. My grandmother just got over COVID, and she had COVID and influenza at the same time. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So it is, and people's like looking over, and it's so they told her that, but it was a new variant, and she's in
Hmm.
Florida. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And she's in Florida, so it has to be making its way up. You know what I mean? This thing travels fast. They said it was in Canada,
Right.
and and what they're doing is they're blaming it, like I said, on a far right agenda. That's what they're trying to say. You know what I mean? This is a far right thing No, this is a everybody thing. Like this is something that is forcing, like you said, is almost forcing scaring a lot of people into getting
Hmm.
the jab and putting a foreign substance in their body. I don't think I'm going down that route again. Like I know I'm not going down that route again. And this is just one of them topics to where a lot of people just don't want to pay attention to, and they just don't really, you know what I mean? They really don't pay attention to what's the real importance in this matter is that they need to be up on game with this, and they don't. And it's a shame that a lot of people just overlook it and they don't care about it. And like I said earlier, I think it's just one of those things where it's like if it don't affect them, then they don't care. You know what I mean? Because it's not affecting
Hmm.
them right now, but sooner or later it will be affecting them. You know what I mean? And it go back to where if your job is not essential, then you won't be working. Airports
Right.
closing down. You know what I'm saying? People struggling, not being able to pay their bills. You know what I'm saying? So forth and so on. I think it's important to know, and because it's real. It's happening right now. It's real. I see things happening right now in slow motion. I see, you know what I'm saying, a couple of things happen in slow motion. Like I said, my grandmother just was sick, and she had the vaccine.
Hmm.
She had it already. So, you know, oh yeah, you popped up on the camera now.
Right. Right. Just a
Okay.
little, little cameo in there, just so people can see.
I wouldn't pay attention to the numbers. This is restream. Every view comes in late. I
I'm
don't.
not. Yeah,
I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't
that
pay
didn't
attention
even matter.
to
I can't even see if I do have access to it. I can't see it anyway. I just said
that.
pop
Okay.
in, pop out. But that's part of it. Like the economic reset, all of that stuff, which they did. I don't even know. But this time around, you can see things going in a way where a lot of a lot more of the economic reset is digital currency. So a lot of stuff is going to go down that lane as far as that goes. But like in your homes, I would say make some do research, get some natural medicines, some things that you can make in your home where you can medicate your family, and then if need be, you'll be able to help someone else out with something that raises antibodies.
Right.
Something that you understand, something that you can do preventive maintenance on or with. Excuse me, not on, but you can do preventive maintenance with. You
Okay.
understand, every day, and that way, you're protected against the cold. You
Right.
understand, so
What are
you're
some of the
protected.
natural things that people can use that don't know?
Um, uh, I think like in this community where this will probably be restreamed if it falls on anybody's ears. A lot of people know already, but things like elderberry, black seed oil, um, uh, moringa seed, um, and those are things that you can just take, that come in cap form, nothing serious, but you can make. Also, those that are more skilled can make tinctures or essential oils with those things, and you can you know protect your body from a topical way as far as topically and internally, because what they're going to do is mandate the whole face diaper. What I like to call the face diaper. Well, I heard a lady call it, and I just stuck with it. But you know, the whole mask thing. They're gonna
That's crazy.
they're gonna they're gonna mandate that, and then it's gonna roll back out. But a lot of people that went through it the first time and were prepared are going to go into this same situation.
Oh, my fault.
No, 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 you good, man. You do what you got to do. Just,
No, no,
you
no.
know,
It hit the I hit the I don't know the keyboard and it popped
go
off.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
you on point with that, and it just always seems to be where this is one of those things that people do not want to hear, and it's hard to
Hmm.
get people to listen to these kind of things, man. It's
The
hard, and it really
the
is because you either come off as a conspiracy theorist, and or they just I don't know. I don't
right.
know why. I don't know. I still don't get it, and I've been out here for a while doing this, but it's hard to get people to listen to things like this, things that they really need to know about. But I had got this, I had pulled up this email that I had got. I want to share it on the screen and see if you can see it. Can you see that?
Yeah, it's small. I'm on my phone, but
Okay, so
I
it's
can see it
smaller.
vaguely though.
Okay, so I'll read it to you. It says,
I ain't gonna here. I'll take my camera off so I can look at it good.
okay, it's saying it's some dude named Aaron Walter. It was off that that TikTok post that you sent me, and
Okay.
he's saying like Scandemic 2020. I didn't fall
Right.
for the Scandemic 2023. Nope, these people they need taught a lesson. That's the first one he said, right? Then the
Hmm.
second one, he said they use BLM to destroy older parts of the cities so they could buy them out for pennies on the dollar.
Right.
Don't believe me? Why no arrest? What do you think about that comment right there? That comment right there that like hit me different for real. Like I'm looking at that comment like, yo, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Because that's exactly what happened, and it just went unchecked, unnoticed. I mean, if you will, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, didn't nobody
Right.
really care about that for real. You know what I mean?
Well, what part of it sticks out to you when he's talking about BLM?
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, but I mean, well, I mean, everything did because honestly, I
Okay.
like everything. But you know, he also said they will not try and do anything, even a third world war. All of you naysayers, listen up and wake up. They've been the new world order. They want complete control. They burned Maui. They lied the first scandemic. I don't,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? Um, this is a Caucasian cowboy guy named Aaron Walter. Um, he put it up on there, but the BLM comment they used the BLM to destroy the
Right.
older parts of cities so that they
Correct.
can buy them out for pennies on the dollar.
Hmm.
It,
So reverse gentrification is what it
yeah,
sounds like.
pretty
You know,
much.
which we know that is happening everywhere, but in this case, a lot of us support, those air quote special interest groups,
Hmm.
and my advice to anyone that, looks at that, because the first thing that we may look at is
Hmm.
saying, because that's a group that so-called supports people that look like us, right?
Hmm.
You still have to do your research and find out what they're really about.
Right.
What are they really doing in the communities? What people are funding that movement?
Right.
Look at that, and then ask questions. We're in a time right now where information is at our fingertips.
You know what?
So
And that, like, you know why that hit me different there, honestly, because it was a white man saying that. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Like,
hmm
let me just be honest about that. You know what I mean? It hit
hmm
different because it was a white man that noticed that, and most of us don't notice that. You know
and
what I'm saying?
and you know what is in looking at things like that all the time. A lot of times we have to hear it from another race, or to really take heed to it, because when we're dealing like that amongst each other,
Mhm.
that's when we get most of the pushback for real.
Right. Right.
And that's when you get tagged as being a conspiracy theorist, or whatever the case may be, amongst your own.
Right.
But when but when you get the report from someone else, you know then it kicks in and starts making sense. And we could go down the rabbit hole about the cause and effect of that too. But sadly, that's what happens a lot of times.
Yeah, it is, and you're right. But when I hit, and I think that's exactly. I'm like, wow, like we pay attention to things like this all the time. We see things like this. We have
Hmm.
multiple conversations on topics like this
Hmm.
all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Hmm.
it's really not nothing new to us. But I'm trying to get the people who would even remotely pay attention to me to give them a little bit of game on this so that they know what's going on in their community, so forth and so on. And
Hmm.
the other thing that stuck out to me was the scandemic. The
Right.
scandemic.
Hmm.
It's arguably a lot of people was arguing about the first time that this went on was getting people to put things in their body. That was like that right there. A lot of people just didn't want to do it. And
Right.
honestly, I got shook into doing that. My wife, I seen her, she was out of it. You know what I mean? Out of it. Out.
Hmm.
And I never seen her like that. And I'm like, wow, this thing is crazy. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
she did pull through. The kids, we all had it at one point in time. So, but you know, there's at the end of the day, I think that we just if we did all we can do on informing the people out there, the public of this situation and other things, and I'll keep on reporting on it. But I wanted to ask you
Right.
about that thing that happened, the shooting that happened up there in Garfield, the shooting.
Right. I'm not even informed on it.
You okay?
I'm not even informed on it. I saw it on the news, but um what I got from what I saw
Right.
on the local news
Mhm.
was that uh there was eviction notice put on the man's door, and that's what triggered the whole thing.
Right. So in other words, you got you got the news story, but you don't have a real story. No,
Right, 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 right.
yeah.
I just saw I saw it in the morning,
Mhm.
got up, saw it on Channel 11, and then I just
I just now saw it, and
got
I just
okay.
now saw it, and there was already another YouTuber who was reporting on it, and they was blasting them in the comments, saying they were from
Hmm.
Pittsburgh and you're misinformed. The news was misinformed on what happened
Hmm.
actually. But obviously, I mean, anybody, the neighbors were saying he had a case full of guns dragging him into his house. You're right about the whole eviction thing. It was an
Right.
eviction that happened, and before they even got there, I guess a day before or a couple of days before, allegedly, he was telling another neighbor that look, they not coming up in here. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
They gonna get what they asked him for. And the neighbor's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, you gonna find out. And today, and I guess what was it happened today or was it yesterday that this happened?
This was yesterday.
Okay, this is
It,
yesterday's news,
yeah.
okay.
Right.
And it's already national news, like you know what I mean?
Right.
National media done picked it up.
Right.
Um,
I mean, anytime you hear something like that, it's gonna make national news because the that's that
mhm,
narrative is going to be another reason for the because now when you face the police, it's going to be like you're facing military.
right. And I mean,
You know.
we talking 72 to 75 officers, couple SWAT members, and the neighbor said it sounded like a straight war zone over so many shots. I want to see if I can pull up the clip real quick while we up on here.
Okay.
It was crazy, the way that they explained this. They were saying that it sounded like a whole full out war zone, and I'm like that can't be it can't be that, you know what I mean? But I'm about to check it out and see if that was what it was. Yeah, he got killed too in his house, and there was bullets everywhere. I mean,
Hmm.
there's always been trouble with the police and Pittsburgh in general. So I mean, I don't.
I would, you got to say that
Here we go.
it's okay, but it's like everywhere though. Like,
Yeah.
and what I try to move away,
Hmm.
from go play it, and then I'll weigh in after that.
Okay.
Yep.
Tactical team exhausted every resource available, from communication to playing family messages. The gunfire, the exchange of gunfire was there. There was thousands of gunfire.
Thousands of rounds
Yeah.
of gunfire, a city neighborhood riddled with bullets. Tonight, a lot of questions remain one day after that shootout in
Is
Garfield.
that what you saw on the news? Is this what
No,
you saw on the news?
I saw the different report because it was on a different station, but
Okay.
but pretty much that's of what I saw. But if we go down, if we go down that rabbit hole, you you know where my stance is there. I mean, this is in this city is arguably one of the most I'm gonna go to maybe start the first hole down the rabbit hole, but it's
It's
arguably one of the
cool.
most it's arguably one of the most racist cities in the country. I would say next to Boston, Massachusetts, or one of, but it's definitely up there. And
Yeah.
you know, so I mean, and there's so many things that we could go into, like if you look at the workforce, all of that stuff. I mean, literally, if you there's a on that same news station on that same news station that you got that report from, there's a radio personality that on that same station with those same call letters on the radio side that that did a feature a couple years ago about how this was there was no other major city in the country where black people were more oppressed. And this was just maybe what it's 23 now. This was definitely this was right before the first pandemic.
Mm.
So he did a feature, he did a spotlight on that and said it. I think that and that does play into how we react with the with law enforcement and stuff. And granted, when you do interact with them, you know, comply. You understand? But there's a difference of complying in a confident, clear manner.
Mm-hmm.
You comply and you respond and do what you need to do in that situation, but you do it unfearfully, as the head of your household. And then that I'm speaking directly to any young man where this might fall on their ear
I ain't even
or
finished
whatever
playing the whole clip for real.
within earshot. But that's what and that topic, what I just said right there, because we kind of splintered off from what you're playing there. But I'm saying, we went into another uh,
No, but
topic, if you will.
and
It.
I'm glad you brought that up though, because I was wondering if like what is the real cause of that? Does that have anything to do with why this old man really just went crazy and started shooting everything up?
I mean,
You
there
know,
was
who
there
who
was
owns the property up there? Is that his house? Well,
I
obviously
don't
not.
know up there I couldn't tell by the looking at the screen where the
Mhm.
actual
It's
place is. I mean, both of us
Garfield.
are.
Garfield.
Yeah,
Garfield.
both of us are familiar with that area. I couldn't tell if that's in the area where they did the new residential development up there,
Uh-huh.
or if it's somewhere else. But nonetheless, and this is something because I'm new to all social media uh community, man, and
Right.
that, like,
Yeah.
me and you talk. I'm so, but what I do see, one of the things I see floating around is dialogue about mental health. So that's always going to be something that is going to come up in a situation like that. They're going to say that there was, uh, some mental instability or something like that, which is the cause of them using deadly force.
Well,
You know
he
what I
was
mean?
shooting
Or
shooting-
he was shooting at them too. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure that in the final report, or when another report comes out, it'll have something to say how unstable he was, or what
Mhm.
medication he might have been on,
Right.
or something along those lines.
I'm gonna finish playing the rest of the clip, and then we could
Go ahead.
commentate on it.
We
Go ahead.
can
Yep.
tell you that dozens of officers who were involved are now off the street. They include 47 City of Pittsburgh officers, 12 Allegheny County police officers, and 16 Allegheny County Sheriff's deputies. Police say those officers will be
But
evaluated
that's all
after
the
their
people we got.
involvement in that
And
highly
they
charged situation yesterday.
around
They'll likely be off the streets for several days. Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Ken Rice.
And I'm Christine Sorensen. The gunfire on Broad Street has long since ended, but the disbelief coming from neighbors is loud and clear. Erica Moke spoke to those neighbors and got an up-close look at that damage. Erica.
Christine and Ken, yeah, yesterday we were telling you just the amount of gunfire that was exchanged yesterday, and you were able to see in that video the damage left behind at that row house, showing you just how intense this standoff was.
really
You
want
can
to
see
see if
behind me
they
that
got
home has
the
since
shots
been
on there.
boarded up. But right now on this street, you can see neighbors are out and about. They are alongside city leaders assessing the damage from those bullets, like what you can see right here on this house, evidence of bullets whizzing by. Neighbors tell me yesterday they felt like they were in the middle of a war zone brought on by a man that they barely knew.
hmm
Good morning, sir. How's your day? And then he was telling me that they're going to pay for this. I'm like, ooh, I said, be on the street. It's cool. He said, you'll see. And he walked away.
That man, who lives just a few doors down, says he had no idea that just days after that conversation with William
I used
Hardison
to live on Broad
would
Street.
turn what's been described as a normal,
Yeah.
quiet neighborhood
So yeah.
into a
Okay.
nightmare.
Yeah.
Listen to the shot.
I couldn't even count. It
You
had
hear
to
him?
be over 2,000
Yeah.
rounds. I couldn't even count. It
Wow.
had to be over 2,000 rounds. Coming and
2,000
going.
rounds.
Please him, please him.
I,
It was so
it,
loud.
that's what it sounded like to her. You know what I
City
mean?
officials and police giving an update today on the response, saying their attempts to make
I
contact with
think the
Hardison
officer
and bring the
confirmed how many
situation to a
shots it
peaceful
was.
end were met either
Okay.
by silence or
But
that
but I
barrage of
did see
bullets.
on
The
there,
gunfire,
as you were
exchange of
playing it,
gunfire
that they,
it felt there was
that
thousands of gunfire
that they
just
took
one
them
day.
all off the
Not
street and everything, and then
The exact amount of shots, ammunition, even weapons used by the suspect is still under investigation by state police. And although neighbors say they had no idea what kind of stockpile Hardison may have been sitting on, one says she did see him with a gun case, which she says contained more than one rifle.
Because it was heavy. He was struggling from across the street to his house to get it into his house.
His house, the one he refused to leave, now left battered from a gun battle, as are the homes
God, it's
nearby,
close.
including the one that shares a wall with the now crime scene. Our camera was invited inside, capturing several bullet holes in that shared wall, one big enough to see right through.
It was a dramatic scene. I didn't never think it would have got to this point.
Now, it is still not known where the shot that killed the suspect came from. Again, that's still under investigation. The neighbor who lives immediately next door didn't want to go on camera. She said that there are at least 4 bullet holes in her wall, and any of them could have killed her. Thankfully, though, she evacuated, and she and her pets are okay. We're live tonight in Garfield. Erica Moke,
I
KDKA,
just sent you a
TV1.
message. If you see
Okay.
that, just make sure.
Well,
If
KDKA News, they up on there.
Okay,
They can see it and everything.
okay.
But we do have to but I do have to normally like play like only play like 18 20 seconds, but the news we get away with the news for some reason. I don't know why. The news, because I guess it's the news is public anyway, you know what I mean?
Okay, all right, okay, all right. Yep.
If it's you, then I can't use it like that. You know what I mean? But since it's
I
the
got you what you're saying, because then it's
right,
a different.
hmm
Got you. All
right,
right.
you know, but they but that they didn't say how many times they shot up on her, but the looks of his house though looked crazy, and like most people saying, there got to be a whole nother story to that what's going on. Like there had to have been something else that provoked him, that because he knew what was coming. Obviously, as you heard from the other neighbor, you know,
Right.
just me
Because he
doing my
said
own
they're going to pay for this. Or, yeah, he
right.
said something. Yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah. You know,
Hmm.
like me sitting here doing my little law and order business or whatever. Like he planned that out. Like, how did he know that
Hmm.
they was coming that deep? How did they get there so fast to even do that? You know what I mean? Like, I never seen them respond that fast, especially in that neighborhood. That ain't funny. Like,
Hmm.
that's kind of weird to me. You know
Right.
what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if things has changed that much by me being gone, but I've never seen the police get that fast in that part of Garfield right there and show up that deep. 47 officers, what they say, 47 officers, what, 15 SWAT members, something crazy like that. They had a tank out there.
City. It was city, county.
Okay.
I saw it at the beginning
And the state
when he
troop,
was playing. I didn't see if it said state, but I saw county and city. I mean, and even that alone, speaks volume. But I believe that there was a third agency there.
yeah,
If you
like,
look
and
back at the beginning of the report, I think there
how
was
they
a
get
third
there
a
that
third agency
fast?
there.
Like, how they get there
Well,
that fast, Dad? Like, that's crazy. I mean,
the I can't even remember what they call it, but down there in
uh-huh.
there's still a precinct down there, one of the precincts down there,
Is it
just
is it in
like around the
Garfield
corner
or
from there.
is it in
East
Garfield?
Liberty, East Liberty.
The East, I thought the East Liberty precinct was down by where Babyland was. I thought that was the East Liberty precinct.
And that's
That's,
where, okay.
that's a
So
little
when I'm
way.
thinking Broad Street, I'm thinking like right there, like, or is it further up on Broad? It
That
must have
was
been
like
further
was
up.
next to the cemetery, the Allegheny Cemetery.
Okay,
That right
okay,
there was where the Allegheny Cemetery is at, around the corner on Broad Street, almost like right where I lived at for real. Like where the
right,
cemetery is at. But where's the police? I'm trying to think in my head, where's the police station at?
right. Where the closest one is to there, I'm
Yeah,
not even sure.
it's down. That's
Hmm.
down. The only one I could think of, what is that? Zone 5, I want to say, or Zone 5 or something like that.
I'm trying
That's
to think of if there's one down like in Lawrenceville.
you remember where
I,
the high rise used to be at? The high rise in the
in
McDonald's.
Garfield, you're talking about?
Yeah,
Oh, no, no,
Garfield,
no, no.
Garfield
Where the
East Liberty.
McDonald's was in
Right
East
on East
Liberty. Right.
Liberty
Okay.
Boulevard.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
where the precinct's at, across
Okay.
the street from that McDonald's.
Right. Correct. That's and that's the one I was talking about.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's a little ways down the road for them to be
That's a little
showing
ways down the
up out
road.
east.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
I
that's
mean,
what I'm saying. Like,
or maybe, or maybe they got tipped off or something, and they was prepared or something like that.
right.
That
Yeah,
could
that
be a
makes sense.
scenario too.
Yeah, that I mean, I guess that make logic sense right there, because I mean, I just never seen them respond that fast in Garfield anyway. There's shootings
Hmm.
that happen up in Garfield all the time, and they don't never show up. Like, this is be honest, like they don't show
Yeah.
up. You know what I mean? Somebody getting
Yeah.
shot in Garfield. Oh, all right. They get there when somebody
There's
dead, like, you know.
there's a new chief. Um, that's a whole nother discussion topic there too. But there's a new chief, and the mayor is a brother from the east side too.
Uh,
Yeah, so they've been really focusing on different things like that,
response
response
times
time
and
being
everything. Yeah,
one of
okay,
them and
yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah, they've been
okay.
really
Because
tightening the
I've
screws
literally
and stuff like
seen
that.
people growing up up there. Of course, it's tough and rough, but I've actually seen
Hmm.
people get driven to the hospitals from strangers, family members. You know what I'm saying? Because the ambulance and the police didn't come on time. You know what I'm
They
saying?
respond
So
slow. Yeah,
the
yeah, like they've
response
been
was
putting
low.
some
So
focus on it.
that's why I'm like, I mean, I've been I ain't been home in years, so I'm still looking at it, but I'm thinking in my head, like, they got up in Garfield fast. I mean,
Hmm.
47 officers, SWAT team, a tank, all that, like the state troopers. Like, that's crazy. I'm like, man, but look, you, man, it's just like it's just one of those things to me where I feel like we can't have it both ways too. Like it's tough. It's a tough, sensitive topic, but it's one of those things where you say
Okay.
you can't have it both ways. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't say, oh, the police is wrong, or you know what I'm saying, but then say and then let us police our own selves, and then when they don't come, they're a problem. So it's like, it's touch and go with that one because they show up, they shoot a man, they kill a man. People are
Hmm.
people are upset about that. But then if they don't come around, like what I was just talking about, the response time being low, then they're mad about that.
Hmm.
So it's just like, man, it's just like, it's one of them topics. It's just like I feel like we just got to do better as a community and as a whole before anything, you know what I mean? Start holding each other accountable where we at and as much as we can. But that causes problems too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like
It
it's
always
hard to
does.
talk with
Like,
it even.
right,
Yeah.
right. I mean, if you're going to be here, which everybody know, you have control of your circumstances to
Mhm.
a degree. But for those that are going to be in communities like that, there does have to be some planning. There has
Mhm.
to be conversation amongst the elders of the community, because those are the ones that are really going to be looking at it from that perspective. The youth of the communities are looking at something totally different. So, getting uh, to have dialogue with them is a task within itself, and that's everywhere. But it's the elders of the community, the men first, the elders of age that have to conversate, organize to a degree,
Mm.
and the accountability will start there. A few years back, there was a baby that fell out of a window up in Northview Heights, and
Mhm.
there's a lot of there's a heavy Somalian population up there now, right?
Okay. Mhm.
And so when the news came up and they got the report,
Mhm.
like, similar. I mean, not similar, but just like the news went to that couple that played on that clip right there. When the news showed up there, the elder man of that community, like, even they the where I'm going with this. Let me finish the
Thank
story,
you
and then I'll come
thank
back
y'all
and,
thank
and
y'all for
go full.
joining in on the live right now. I'm joining my dad on the panel right now, y'all. Go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure y'all sharing the stream. I appreciate y'all. Continue on, Dad. You were saying that the elder of the
Yeah,
community.
right. So that's Northview Heights is a heavy Somalian. Uh, there's still a lot of mixed poor people there, but there's a lot of Somalian and African people that live up in that housing community now. So, but they still within that housing community, they organized to the point where you could see when the news came to speak to that mother, there was an elder in the community, an elder man that came up and gave the report of what happened.
Mm.
They didn't allow the news reporters or the cameras to go to that distraught mother.
Mm.
You understand? So that was the highlight of the situation that I took from that and said, you know what, people can learn from that.
Absolutely.
That's the type. And like you said, there will always be pushback. There will always be pushback on something like that. But in a situation like that, though, there's more positive at the end that can come from something like that than counting what could be negative from it. It's always a positive thing, because then from a trickle down effect, you have young men seeing that the elders stand in front and protect the women and the children.
Mhm.
and it gives a strong sense of family again. And but I do see that happen a lot, even amongst us, that are in the you know the wanderers, what I call the
I think
diaspora, if you will. You know what I mean?
I think it's hard for us to. I think it's hard for us African American Black people to have a strong community sense like that because the lack of trust too of what's going on in the
Hmm.
community. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
People don't trust each other. There's a lot of things going on. Is the leader gonna scam everybody? Where is he trying to lead them to? There's a lot of questions that come up. It's just in layman's terms,
Always will
shorten it
be.
all up. It comes
Hmm.
down to trust. You know what I'm saying? And other people not being okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Thinking it got to be a gang or shutting that down and not allowing that to happen. That could be in the
Hmm.
way too. But we stand in the way of of ourselves too because it takes more than just the OGs, the elders of the community to step
Hmm.
up when it comes to that. It takes men my age, younger, also to be
Absolutely.
there, and enough ain't there. Enough of us aren't there yet. We're not ready to take that on because worried about the wrong things too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people,
Hmm.
you know, it's all about what the tangible things. You know what I'm saying? If I come on here and I got big old earrings, couple rings, a
Hmm.
Marc Jacob watch or iced out, Rolex and fake chains, jewelry on or whatever, I'll be taken more seriously than what it is now. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's just like they see things and they want to follow that. You know what I mean? They think that
Right.
that holds more credibility than who you are as a person and what and it's just weird to me. But a lot of us just ain't ready to step into those roles. I mean, I have no problem with doing that, but I just don't think there's enough people to actually do that. You know what I'm saying? And like I've always told you, I think it takes more than just us too, though. You know what I'm saying? At this point, I think that it's gonna take both Caucasian and African Americans to come together in a community because we stuck in these communities a lot of the times together. You know what I'm saying? It's not a white back thing to me. It's a
Hmm.
poverty, middle class, wealthy. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Are you living in poverty? Because a lot of the you know what I'm saying? Or are you there? Or you know what I'm saying? Just where you at financially, I believe that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? In other words, where you are at financially, the area you in, coming together. If you're in a heavily black community, that needs to come together. If you're in a heavily mixed community, y'all need to come together. You know what I'm saying? Because every place ain't gonna be like that. If that makes sense, you know,
Hmm.
if that makes
Hmm.
sense like that, you know, I think that's how it needs to be done. You know, for
Huh.
things to work. But hey, what can I say, man? Well, I too much on it.
Well,
It just
you've done, what you have done with, what you're doing right now. Um, there's going to be some people that's going to hear it, whether it's you're going to have some degree, you know what I mean, and they're going to look at that and say, yeah, the brother's speaking on, on point, um, and that is what needs to happen. People coming together. I do know that there's going to have to be, with just like with every organization, there's going to have to be committees, code form, a code to abide by. You understand? So um, that's where a lot of division comes in.
mm-hmm.
Without, you understand some of the points that you touched on. Like people are always going to be looking at what what resources are there. Counting resources, whether that be monetary, whether that be time, whatever the case may be. But it's also going to be a thing where uh, men your age, even younger, uh, because I don't see you in that way, obviously, but a lot of young people, period, male
Mm-hmm.
or female, it doesn't matter, and even some older want to see something tangible, like you said, before they move on anything. So
Mm-hmm.
someone that maybe, you know, decorated with jewelry or whatever is going to be taken more seriously than someone that just is coming on and giving you facts and allowing you to make an informed decision on anything. Like we started this conversation, um, just giving people information about, the second wave of this major, economic shutdown and everything that is going to take place. Just giving people information and allowing them to make a decision, and then bringing it all the way up to where we are now. Just being able to hear information
Mm-hmm.
and reason and make a decision with your family, with your wife, with your children, and things of that nature, and be able to be prepared when something like this happens. And that's one of the things that I'm thankful for with you and I. Like you said, that we have these types of conversations and
Right.
are, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
and we build strong, with that. So, and you're doing, stepping and doing your thing now with your media platform. So, you know,
Right.
I'm
And
thankful. I'm thankful for being able to be a
not a
part of
lot
that.
of people could be Indians neither. You know what I mean? Everybody want to be a chief. Can't play their position
Right,
on the team. A lot of
right,
us love team sports, watch it, play them, but we can't play as a team together. And if we did, we got a set of rules. We'll be
hmm
able to move forward and accomplish a lot more like that. But it don't happen in the community, and it's like I said, it's a lot of distress and everything. But hopefully, at some point in time, it'll start getting through, and people will start listening and hearing that because it's definitely the truth. And when they see these things happening, we got somebody.
hmm
We have more than just one person that we can talk to in the circle. You know what I'm saying, to counsel with, if you will.
right,
You know what I'm saying.
right.
That's important too. But look, man.
And being able to plan within it. You know what I mean? Being able to plan within it, being able to execute some things, because that's the first point. But when you get to a certain point of counsel and communication, then you have to plan. And because when things happen, there's going to have to be some action.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's going to have to be some action behind those words that talk about. But like you said, and thinking of, some of the things like the level of trust and all of those things, and that in respect is a fine line. So, depending on who you're dealing with, what extreme is that person going to go to in order to feel like they're respected, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and all those things. I mean, it's a very fine line with opening up the communication, uh, with the various ages, being able to convey a message that that is going to be positive, you know. And sometimes, and let me go back to, because sometimes even being positive, because a lot of times you want to put the message out there, but most of the time it's going to be things that people don't want to hear, especially when it comes to community activism, when it comes to, you know, uh, the realness of healthcare, where we are now, the realness of the food that we're putting in our bodies. You know what I'm saying? The realness of the monetary system, things things of that nature. When you really, you know, speak things that are true, no one really wants to hear it. So, it. I think it's good to be able to attach yourself to people in the community that are actually doing. And that and going back, that might not be someone that looks like you or I, you know what I mean? But for someone, me being 54 years old, I'm looking at things a little differently now. I'm thinking about ultimately legacy. You know what I mean? And we have those types of conversations too. So like, so my immediate choice of activism might not be the same, but regardless of what, if it differs, than the young brother that's 25 years younger than me, or whatever the case may be, we
You said
still need to
something there
be
real. You said
good.
something. I don't mean to cut you off, but I ain't want to miss what you was just saying. You said
Hmm.
legacy. A lot
Hmm.
of people do not understand what legacy really is. Legacy is family, correct? And more
Absolutely, man. First, you
first,
understand? Yeah, right.
right? So a lot of people misunderstand that and think that legacy is a Jaguar in their driveway, a Rolls Royce
Hmm.
or a Bentley, a Rolex on their wrist, a chain on their neck, Jordans on their feet, 50,000 in their pocket. They mistake that with family. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's what
Hmm.
legacy is. So I say that to be like, when we was talking about leaders and everybody getting along in the community,
Hmm.
there needs to be one person that everybody goes to, right? With rules. That's a fact.
Either that, or
Because just because you
counsel. Right.
huh? W-
I'm saying I was agreeing with what you said. You said a person. I said or a council. You know
Right.
what I mean? Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
And there's other players, right? And
Uh
then
huh.
everybody playing their part. That does not mean that you're still not a king, because you're still a king in your home, and not
Hmm.
because your family, your home is your legacy.
That's right. That's right.
Right. Okay.
And you're that. Um. You know. And I'm sure as time
You
goes
read that,
on. Was I didn't see it? Okay. Oh yeah. Shout out, sis. Hey. Hey.
Auntie up
But
in the building. What's going on?
yeah. Yep. So yeah, so legacy is that, and you know, and we can go down many lanes of that, but and I'm sure that as time goes on, because I'm sure this won't be the last time that I'm here,
Nah.
having a conversation on your platform. But
I
the
love you coming in here dropping bombs on them, because not only it it's just something that we all really need to hear, you know what I'm saying, outside of me doing sports and the little bit of entertainment gossip or the trucking things, you know what I'm saying? This is just something
Mhm.
else to bring to the public, that and my viewers, that they need, that I want to share. This is why I started the platform, because it's not out there that everybody that COVID is coming up again. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That they're already planning to lock us down again. My grandma just had it. Um,
Mhm.
my grandmother, not grandma. You know what I mean? I don't know, but
Right. I know what you were talking about. Yep.
yeah, and it's coming around again, and they're saying it's hitting Canada, talking about locking down airports. Um, and they're flipping it, and they're trying to say that it's a far right thing. You know what I mean? Like, they trying to put it in that rabbit hole and trying to silence certain people about it, but it's for real out there, y'all. Like, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And they trying to force another shot on everybody. And I don't think that this shot is what y'all need to be putting in y'all body. And we was talking about other medicines, herbs, natural medicines that you can take for your immune system. I think he said like elderberry,
Elderberry
black
was one of them.
seed,
Yeah.
black
Hmm.
seed, and moringa seed, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Those are just some of the things that you can take for your immune system so that you don't have to get this shot in for your babies. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all got wipes. Don't wait to the last minute to get toilet paper. Do your couponing. Dollar General, Family Dollar. My wife do it every weekend, every Saturday. There's coupons for, don't wait to the last minute to make sure that you got water and everything else that everybody was all panicking about, because it may happen and it may not happen, but it's always better to be prepared. And I'm just telling y'all from experience that my grandmother literally just had influenza and COVID at the same time, and she just got over it. You know what I'm saying? And instead of really just telling her the truth, like it was a whole new variant, they tried to say, "How do you get that at the same?" It don't happen. It don't happen. It just don't happen. You know what I mean? Like, like how, like that, like how, what's the odds of someone having influenza and COVID at the same time?
Yeah. On my phone, I gotta charge my phone, so I gotta lay it down.
Oh
You'll
yeah,
still
go
be able to
ahead.
hear me, but I gotta go off camera.
Oh, it's all right, it's cool. But that's like,
But
but that's kind of like saying, correct me if I'm wrong. That's like saying your mold got mildew.
yeah, I was hoping that that was
Right.
that the it was going to shift into that lane of when you think about it and when you start drilling down, right?
Yeah.
When you start drilling down in that lane, you'll see that what you just said is on point. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's it's a cold. It's a
Right.
cold. It's a
Right.
it's a it's a it's the Hulk variant of cold. Like if you look, the Hulk is a lab induced demon, right?
Right.
When you really look at it, right? The
Hmm.
Hulk is a lab induced demon, right? You won't like me if I'm angry, right? That's that's what you know CV-19 is, man. It's a cold
Hmm.
that's induced, and to where the symptoms are just as bad, but you got the same symptoms, but they're just on steroids.
Right. Right. And
You
and
know,
and that's what I was just talking about there. I was saying like that's what the doctors told my grandmother. She has influenza and COVID at the same time. I'm like, no, you can't.
hmm
It's a new
and
variant.
now they
It's
and
a
now
new
they want
variant.
to
It's a
and
new
now they
variant.
want to
Yeah.
give her a double jab or
Right.
something. Like
Right.
you know what I mean.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
so
Yep.
so I mean, being that you have information now, now your conversation with you know can be different. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like when you
she
go to
took
have a
care of it.
conversation about that. You know what I
She
mean?
and it's crazy because she has other health complications that so that she had to take like a lot of different medications. She's already on a lot of medications and so forth and so on. But I think the thing what I was really saying is that they're lying. They're trying to keep that from spreading mass panic, like what you said earlier, by telling her she
hmm
had influenza and COVID instead of just saying
hmm
you have a new variant. You know what I mean? Like that's what
hmm
I was saying there. Like you got a new variant, you know what I'm saying? And people don't really know that it's going around, but I feel like it's an obligation of man to inform the people who pay attention to me to tell them what's going on out there, regardless of who like it and who don't like it. Be prepared for things because when that thing come around, it smacks hard and it affects your pockets like crazy. Shut things
Right,
down, all kinds of stuff happen
right.
with that, man. But man, I hope you jump on with me again. I go live
hmm
tomorrow, but this was like a breaking news type
Okay.
jump up, and I wanted to come on here and get you up on here. I think you did fantastic. Um,
Thanks, man.
yeah, no doubt. You know what I mean? For what I'm saying, give it up for my pops, y'all know what I'm saying. He did great, jumped up on here. My dad, like I told y'all, he was gonna come in here and drop bombs. He don't do the whole social media thing. He came in here and straight killed it. People were like, nah, he's lying. He did that before. Like, nah, he never, he don't do this. Like, You know what I mean? It just runs in the blood, you know. So I guess you could say that
All right,
this
man.
is something that he got from me. That's not what I got from him. You know what I mean? Let's just
I hear you. I hear you. Right, right. Okay, he got the little. Hey, before we go, man, you know, just to give a shout out, man. Jordan just passed his CDLs, man. I just got a text.
Oh,
So
my little bro, he passed his CDL. Shout out to Jordan.
yeah.
CDLs, y'all.
All right, all right.
He about
Yeah,
to be out there on that road. I'm about to see him.
yeah.
I'm about to see ya
Oh,
driving past
all
him.
right.
See ya. No.
Yeah,
Maureen said, congratulations. She up in there clapping. She said, hey,
yeah,
Jordan, that's what's up.
yeah. She just did the thing, man, down there in the A. So, but
Okay.
yeah,
Tell my cousin,
you know.
tell my cousins, I said I love her. Told Uncle L, I said, what's up? What's up, Uncle L? I know you somewhere probably watching, or if not, you know, he will be. He always catch the episodes. Tell Ma Ton I love her. Love you, Pops. Love you, Auntie. Love you. I love the viewers that's in here that stuck with us. Appreciate it, y'all. We'll be live tomorrow, 6:30. Do not miss it, because I got a great show lined up for y'all. We're gonna get into a little sports and some other things. You good?
All right, son. I love you too, man. You know,
All
we'll
right.
chop it up real soon again.
All right. Peace.
Yep. Peace.